Kaiser Permanente Northwest Center for Health Research in North Portland participated in the trials for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. It was one of 3 Kaiser Permanente sites across the country that took part. Patients were recruited locally and started receiving injections this past August. Back then, we talked to one of the researchers.
Successful vaccine is one that is safe, so it's one that's gone through rigorous testing on thousands of people. We've been able to see, are there any side effects that come up? And the second major thing is that it's effective.
In the double-blind trials, half the participants received the vaccine while the other half received a placebo. Trials researchers now believe paid off. Today, Pfizer announced early data suggests its coronavirus vaccine is 90% effective. A monitoring board found 94 infections in Pfizer's study of nearly 44,000 people in the U.S. and 5 other countries. Pfizer did warn that results can change by the time the study ends. However, the company is on track to apply later this month for emergency use approval from the FDA. The announcement caused a jump in the stocks. The Dow surged 800 points, the biggest rally in 5 months.
Keely, it's like one of the first positive things that's happened in a long time. Yes.
Dr. Kavita Patel is a medical contributor for NBC News. She says it will be up to the states on how the vaccine will be distributed.
There will be a high priority put on populations that need this most desperately, and that includes elderly populations, people who are more vulnerable to die from COVID-19.
As well as healthcare workers and first responders. But Dr. Patel says it could take until the summer to get many Americans vaccinated.
Could be a little sooner, but certainly not in time to deal with the hundreds of thousands of cases we're seeing in the next several, weeks of coronavirus.
Dr. Patel says that question remains to be answered as other companies move forward with their trials and researchers follow the results.
All vaccines can have side effects, so I want the American public to understand that we are going to be still tracking and monitoring safety in all populations, and that's another important caveat to be mindful of.
In Portland, Keely Chalmers, KGW News.